Christ. Welcome back to our series of lessons on how to be happy in marriage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know these principles work because I've applied them in my own life and they made me happy. As to the degree that I have been obedient to God's word, I've been happy. Now, what I'm trying to teach in these lessons is that it is faith in God and faith in what God said, believing that God is telling the truth and not lying to us, believing that his word is really true. That is what brings happiness in our life. And whenever we doubt what God says and we don't think that he told the truth and we disobey what he commands, then we lose happiness in our life and we bring trouble and many times tragedy into our lives because we just don't have the faith we should have. So it's all based, happiness is all based on having faith in God. If you're not happy, there's something wrong. You don't have enough faith. Maybe you don't have any faith in God. And that lack of faith, at least in some area of your life, is causing unhappiness. So we're continuing in this lesson to talk to the husbands. And we're still in Ephesians chapter 5. Now we're in verse 28. It says here, so ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. You see, God's word talks to us men very clearly that we're supposed to love our wife like our own bodies. Now, whenever we're hurting, we want something to be done to relieve the hurt, don't we? You know, when our wives are hurting, we should do something to relieve the hurt. When we're hungry, we want to eat. And we want somebody to give us some food. And we should love our wives and remember that we have an obligation to supply the needs of our wife. Financially, we need to bring home the funds to buy groceries with. We should not take the funds that God's given to us for our family and use those for other purposes, to go out and gamble away the food money, or to drink away the food money, or buy cigarettes with the food money. What a sorry thing that is. We're supposed to love our wives like we love our own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. And, you know, I mean, that's really, really true. If you love your wife, you're loving yourself, because when you treat her right, it's about 1,000 times more likely that she's going to treat you right. So love your wife like your own bodies. It says, for no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. We should nourish our wives. We should cherish our wives. We should be good to them. We should be kind to them. We should be loving to them. We should be supportive and help them, even as the Lord loved the church and nourished the church, cherished the church. We're supposed to treat our wives in such a way that when our children see us doing this, they will see what Christ is like. And that's a big responsibility, that we are supposed to show our children what Christ was like. And you know, what Christ is like is he's loving and kind and giving and he treats us good, even though we are many times every day we do not match up to what we should. Every day, well, none of us live like Jesus. We're supposed to. That's what's being commanded here, is that we live like Jesus, that we show our wives what Jesus is like, and show our children what Jesus is like. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. Well, I'll tell you, when you stop and think, whenever two people get married, they become one flesh. And we should be not just one flesh, but we should be one also in our soul and in our spirits. We should be one with our wife. Lord bless you until this next lesson.